Got a jacket, feel free to shed it. We're hot stuff, that's what Sybil said. We're hot stuff. All right, guys. Good? All right. Welcome, everybody, to the monthly membership meeting of the Democratic Party of Milwaukee County. I'm calling the meeting to order at whatever time it is. 7:04 p.m., right on time. Welcome, everybody. I'm Sachin Chena, and I'm the chair of the Democratic Party. Isn't it a great day to be a Democrat? Yeah. We have a lot to celebrate tonight. We have a lot of updates that we're hearing from people, a lot of good reports. We're going to meet an amazing gentleman who's going to take on Paul Ryan and beat him and be the next congressperson. We're going to have a next panel discussion. And so it's really going to be a packed meeting, but we're going to try to keep things moving. We also have a new sound system, so there may be some hiccups along the way. Let us know if you can't hear or we need to turn something up or down. Raucous group tonight, huh? All right, first if we could have the Pledge of Allegiance. If I could ask, as often we do, the member of the County Election Commissioner Board, David Sartori, to lead us in the pledge.
Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. So, if you don't have an agenda, they are on the table behind the blue screen. There may not be quite enough to go around. We seem to have a packed house tonight. So if you could share, that would be wonderful. We'll also be putting the agenda as we go along up on the screen. Just to review the agenda, for those of you, how many people are here for the first time? First Democratic Party of Milwaukee County meeting. Thanks to all of you. Keep your hands up. If you're a first-time attendee and somebody will come around and hand you a membership brochure, we'd appreciate it if you pay your dues. Rob's got it. Well, I think you're a member already. You're just in a different county. What we're going to do is have a series of speakers that talk for about 5 minutes each. A, B, C, D, and E. Quick updates on things that are happening at the county level, the federal level, what's happening in the recall and the recount. Then we're going to spend about 45 minutes having a panel discussion that's really focused on the state budget. We can't talk about everything in the state budget because a number of things that are bad in the state budget are more than if everybody in this room took one thing, we still wouldn't get to all the bad things in the state budget. But we're going to try to hit a few of the highlights in the areas of education, healthcare, the environment, and the economy. We're going to have a few speakers. They're going to present for 5 to 7 minutes apiece, take some questions, we'll have some discussion with the audience. Then we'll go into our business meeting. We encourage as many of you as possible to stay for the business meeting. The officers will give their reports, committee chairs. We'll talk about a number of the important events that are upcoming in the next, many events in the next week actually, but then in the next few weeks, and then reports from many of our activists, including members of the Democratic National Committee, members of the Elections Commission, perhaps the College Democrats. So it's an action-packed meeting. We do try to get out of here in 2 hours. So it's packed. We're going to try to get a lot done in a short amount of time, but we really encourage your participation. So thanks so much for being here. The first thing we want to do then is talk about the Democratic Party of Wisconsin State Convention. For those of you who are new to the party, for those of you who have been coming a long time, you know that the Democratic Party of Milwaukee County is one of the 71 county parties. I did say 71, I'm trying to trick me. 2 of the counties have emerged, county parties, and there's 71 county parties. And if you're a member of the county party, you're a member of the state party. It's one membership. Vice versa. You join the state party, you become a member of the county party. Every 4 years, the state convention is held in Milwaukee. The other 3 years, it travels around the state. Different communities compete for the honor of hosting the state convention, but we're Milwaukee, so we get it every 4 years, no matter what. And this year, we're excited to be hosting the state convention. It's going to be at the Hyatt Regency Hotel downtown on June 3rd and 4th, Friday, June 3rd in the evening. What? Okay. Friday, June 3rd and Saturday, June 4th. It's a really great time to engage with other Democrats and to meet other folks from all over the state who are working hard, both to fight Scott Walker, but also to support the president, support a progressive agenda. We vote on who our state officers are going to be this year. We'll elect a state chair, state vice chair, state treasurer, etc. Excuse me. And we'll make sure that the party platform and the positions of the party continue to hold to the progressive values and progressive traditions that Wisconsin's always had. So we really hope that all of you can join us. Because we're Milwaukee County, we get a whole lot of delegate slots, around 200 delegate slots total. We have about 75 people signed up to be delegates right now. So we have more than 100 positions still available. Nancy is going to talk a little bit about that in a second here. And my big thing is I want you to be involved, I want you to be engaged. We really need a lot of volunteers. We need a lot of people to host this state convention. There'll be 1,000 activists from around the state who are here. We want to put Milwaukee's best foot forward, give them a great experience both at the hotel, at the convention, but also in the city and at the events that we have around the convention. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that as well. Nancy, do you want to give us a quick update? You can just stay right there, actually. Just use that mic. Oh, you want to come up? All right. Just, yeah, flip it all the way up. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's loud. This is a list of everyone who has signed up to be a delegate, and I don't mean to break anybody's privacy or anything, but I'm going to pass it around so you can check to see if I have your name on the list. If I don't have your name on the list, you can sign up on here. Just print your name really clearly and put a phone number on there, so when I go to check your membership, if you're not paid, I can give you a call. The deadline for the very last day to pay your dues and sign up to be a membership is May 20th. By 5 o'clock, whoever's on the list goes to the state party, and if you're not on the list by 5 o'clock, you can't be a delegate. So we got to take this seriously. Also, at the back of the room, Tammy is at the back of the room. Tammy, will you turn around and wave? He has a membership list with everybody whose dues are paid as of, I think it was last week, Tuesday, when I got the list. So when if you could sign in so that we know you're here. Yeah, we can pass them around too. Bring them up. Sure. We're gonna pass around the sign-in sheets. Let's start over here. There's two clipboards. One is A to L and the other one's M to Z. If you could sign in. If your name is not on that list, then your dues are not paid yet for 2011. So Tammy has membership brochures, so you can take care of that tonight as well. Any questions?
Great, thank you, Nancy. The last thing I want to say about the convention is it really is our chance. I know I said this before. It's our chance to shine as a party. I don't want to steal too much thunder from Tammy's report that she'll be giving later, but we are exploding in membership in this county. We are growing at a rate that we could not have imagined. Before you start, let me tell you, 2 years ago, we had 650 members in the party in 2009 in Milwaukee County, 650 members. Last year, we had just under, I think, about 850 members by the end of the year. And what we said in January, that was about a 25% increase. What we said last year is that, in January of this year, is that for 2011, we want the membership to grow to 1,250. We want 400 more members. We want another 50% growth in the memberships. And it's April, in the middle of April, and we have more than 800 members already signed up in 2011 for the Democratic Party. We're already equal to where we were for all of last year, and we haven't even gotten to take it. That's what we should apply. So there's a lot of energy. We will give credit where credit is due. Thank you, Scott Walker, for energizing the progressive middle and the great middle class. And so we're going to go right into then some reports and some comments that we're going to have from a couple of our elected folks to make sure that we know as much as we can as a party about what issues are out there. Before I introduce Supervisor Thomas, I just want to acknowledge that there are some elected leaders who've been tremendous champions for a long time who are here. I want to recognize State Senator Spencer Coggs, who's joined us. Democrat leader on the labor issue, for a long time longtime supporter of the Democratic Party. One of our endorsed candidates from April 5th, who was elevated to the citywide seat on the school board, carrying forward a progressive agenda on education. The newest member, I guess, of the school board, even though he'd been on for the last 4 years, from my district, and that's Terry Falk is here, Director Falk. Thanks so much for being here. Another member of the school board who's been a real champion of students and of parents is here, and that's Annie Woodward. Thank you so much, Annie, for being here. Are there any other elected folks that I either can't see or don't know? It's now my pleasure to introduce a friend of this party and someone who worked as hard as anybody else on trying to get Tom Barrett to be elected the next governor of the state of Wisconsin. He knows from his service on the county board the kind of damage that Scott Walker can do as a leader, faced it down day to day as a Milwaukee County supervisor, and now is continuing to stand up for a progressive agenda on the Milwaukee County board. Come on up here and talk to us a little bit. That's Supervisor Johnny Thomas.
I think this one works well. Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Let's make it a little higher. Good talk.
Just a little bit. And with that introduction, I was expecting, like the cheerleaders and giving the little high fives or something. But we do have a lot of challenges at Milwaukee County. And I think we're all aware of that. But today I'd really like to focus on some changes that have happened in Milwaukee County that I think will improve our position us better for the challenges that we have. As you know, we have two new supervisors, Supervisor Ian Biddle, who is just taking over for Supervisor Collins, as well as Supervisor Haas, who is replacing Senator Chris Larson. Democrats to help the county board, push across a progressive agenda. And we also swore in our new county executive, Chris Abel. So we still have challenges, and I think we're all aware of that. But with the combination of two supervisors to help us, and we place two good supervisors that we previously had, as well as Chris Abel, who's willing to work with the board, extensive business background. I believe he has a ton of connections that will help the board and help us make this change and make the board, or make Milwaukee County a little bit better. The challenges we have, the BRB, the budget repair bill. How many of you have, well, we've all heard about the damage, but that's still looming over the county board. At the board, we say the heavy hand of the state is looming, because we're still waiting to see if that bill is going to be implemented, what changes Scott Walker has for us in the future, and we're still concerned about the redistricting. Currently, the board has passed a resolution to downsize to 18 supervisors. But the state still has the option to come in and redistrict or reset the lines within the county. So we're trying to offset that by coming up with a plan that we feel will represent our constituents and give us an opportunity, for lack of a better word, to fight back with Scott Walker. I can't say that there is any one major issue that we're focused on. Everything's a major issue. So we're consistently, the supervisor has items that they're passionate about. I'm passionate about transit, economic development, and our parks. We have tons of supervisors who are helping me go into the state, advocating for those three issues as well as other issues. So we're consistently, at least once a week, there are at least 3 supervisors up at the state talking to the state legislators. Senator Cox has been very helpful in making connections with other state reps and legislators so that we can advocate on behalf of our constituents. I know I only have 5 minutes, and really I have so many things running in my mind. I'm trying to condense it. But I would say the main thing that we need as a county board is that we just need your support. We need you to write your letters to the state. We need you to call, encourage your supervisors. If you've never called or contacted your supervisor, I would say this is the time to do it. We're spending a lot of time and we're putting a lot of effort to advocate for a progressive cause and to represent this community. you have any other questions?
Great,
Do you have any
Dave's got a
questions?
microphone, and we have time for a couple of questions. Somebody's got questions, there's one back here from Kathleen. Wait, Kathleen, just wait for the mic so everybody can hear.
Thanks. I'm really concerned about the transit. I'm so concerned about it with the cuts going from the transit and then going to the highways. And I think we just have to get more people to be able to ride the bus, like more passes for schools and employees and stuff. We have to grow the system and get, I'm just really scared about it.
I can say that Chairman Holloway has been speaking with Dr. Thornton to hopefully Ms. Woodward and with another representative from the school board can help us get more passes, high-speed passes or bus passes for our high school students. That's revenue that we desperately need. But one of the main things that we're working on and one of the items that I'm advocating for is Scott Walker has moved 7% of new car sales into segregated transit funds. That equates to about $35 million this year. He's going to increase that amount to 50%, which will equate to about $350,000 over the next 10 years. There's adequate, $350 million. There's adequate funding for transit to be put back into segregated funding. We also have help from, surprisingly enough, from the MMAC, Tim Sheehy, who also agrees that transit funds or transit should be put back in segregated funding, as well as Julia Taylor, Northwestern Mutual Life president, I can't remember his name right now. So we have advocates in the business community who can help us push that agenda. So if we can, at this point, if we can just get transit put back in the segregated funds so it doesn't have to compete with education, public safety, I think that's one good step forward. We're also looking at developing, I know the state has removed the RTAs from the, or eliminated all RTAs. What we're looking at is a metro system, a metro RTA system for Milwaukee County. And funds that we'll receive, hopefully half-cent sales tax that will be specifically for transit. It won't be put in the general fund of the county budget, but it'll be segregated within the county budget specifically for transit. So we have some things that we're working on, and we're hopeful that we can get some of those things accomplished.
One more question over there.
Yes.
Can you briefly address the proposed reduction in the number of county supervisors and what's behind all that?
Well, we have two supervisors who have currently decided to retire, and that's Chairman Lee Holloway and Supervisor Linda.
Louder, please.
Okay. Trying not to
Better.
blow you guys out. Okay. So we have two supervisors that will be retiring this year. That's Supervisor Linda Bruin as well as Chairman Lee Holloway. According to the census, a lot of the population has shifted to the south. So that means we're definitely going to have to redistrict more of the northern end of Milwaukee County. Based off of that change, we felt it was appropriate to eliminate one district and then disperse that one district among the other 9 or 18 remaining districts to ensure that we have an adequate number of representation for each district. It was just an easier and cleaner way of reshuffling the lines for the county board.
Why not just replace the two?
That was one option, but then that would cause, for some districts, based off of how the program worked, that would cause some districts to be outside of, because each district has to be essentially represent the same amount of constituents. By eliminating the two based off of the shift of the demographics, that would cause some districts to be outside of the variance of reasonable, outside of the variance that's necessary for redistricting. So it's just easier to eliminate one on the far north end and then distribute that district throughout the remaining supervisors.
Okay, I know that people would have lots of questions and we'd love to have a day where we could just talk about this, but we have so many speakers tonight and so much. Thank you so much.